Hi everyone, this is William from the Headphone Experience, and I'm here tonight with my first impressions of the Deep Core 1800 and Equi Core 600. These are power conditioners, basically a two-stage power conditioner that's made by Core Power Technologies, and these are sold by Underwood Hi-Fi, which I believe their headquarters is out of Hawaii in the USA. I'm doing my first impressions on both of these combined. I did receive these separate packages and actually a couple days apart, but I'm gonna do my first impressions on both of them together, and then I'm going to do a separate full review of each, and then possibly a third review of both of them together as a final or a full review. But the reason I'm doing these both together tonight is I wanted to get a first impressions out. I've had these, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 days now, and I did try them both together, and like I said, it's sort of a two-stage power conditioning system, and I'll try to explain as the best I know so far on what each of these does. I'm having a little trouble getting all the information I want to get about these, and I will continue to learn more about these and get more specs and more information before I do my full reviews. First, I wanted to show you each of these units, and this is the first one that came to me, and this is the Core Power Technologies Deep Core 1800, and I'll explain in a couple minutes what this is supposed to do according to Core Power Technologies. And then this unit here, which is very heavy, so I'll do my best to show you this. This is the Equi Core 600, and this thing weighs like about 20 pounds, so it's kind of hard to hang on to. But anyway, according to the website and what I've found out so far, Core Power Technologies basically describes the Deep Core as a AC power processor and surge protector. And it can be used either standalone or it can be used with your favorite power conditioner. You would plug the Deep Core 1800 into your wall and then plug your power conditioner into that, and it would sort of precondition the power before it goes into your power conditioner. They describe the Equi Core as a fully balanced power conditioner, which also offers surge protection, and that is made to run, as far as I know, in combination with the Deep Core. You would plug the Deep Core into your wall, then plug the Equi Core, I'm having a hard time saying it, Equi Core into the Deep Core, and then you would plug your different components into that. And I'll try to show you a little better here that Deep Core, according to the stats, this weighs 7 pounds, and each one of these units is 8 by 8 inches square and about 5 1/4 inches tall. The Deep Core has 2 outlets on the back and a duplex plug, and so it's basically just made you plug a power conditioner into this. You wouldn't plug your components directly to it. It has I think it's a 15 amp breaker on the back, and then you've got your AC input, and then this knob on the back is called a contour control, and I'm still not quite sure exactly what that does, so I'm going to try to find out more about that when or before I do my full review. But it does change the sound slightly, and it's got something to do with changing the relationship between ground and neutral, I believe. And it's also used to one of the main things that this unit is supposed to do is filter out DC voltage out of your AC supply, and it has something to do with adjusting the contour knob to get your, the best results. And I guess, like I said, I've messed with it a little bit, but I've only had these a few days, and it does seem to change the sound a little bit, and I'll talk about that in a few minutes. Anyway, the Equi Core 600, which I said is very heavy. According to the statistics, this thing weighs 19.5 pounds. On the back you can see this has 4 outlets, and you've got your power input, and you've got your on-off switch and a breaker on that also. These are, well, first I wanted to talk about the price. The Deep Core retails at $1,295, and the Equi Core retails also at $1,295, but apparently I was looking at their website last night, and they have an intro special. I guess this is a new unit, and it sells for $799 right now. These are in US dollars, these prices. Basically, what my understanding is what these do is the Deep Core, and the numbers on these are significant. The Deep Core the number is 1800 on it, and that is because it's supposed to be able to handle 1800 watts running through this. So I mean, at 18 you should be able to plug a substantial amp into this. I'm just using headphones, so I'm not anywhere near the power levels that these can handle. But the Deep Core is made to, you can plug up to 1800 watts worth of equipment into it, and the Equi Core has a number 600 on it, and that is rated at 600 watts, which would be for a smaller system, or like in my case, I'm using it for headphone amps, which aren't going to use anywhere near that. If you need larger power handling, there is an Equi Core 1800 and I believe a 2400, which would handle either 1800 watts or 24. They are larger. I think they're 12 by 12 inches, and I think it weighs something like 56 pounds. It's outrageously heavy, but anyway, and they are more expensive. I'm not sure about the price, but there are larger units if you need more power handling. So anyway, what I've found out about these so far is the Deep Core is supposed to remove DC voltage from your power supply, and apparently just about any AC power supply, your 120 volt, coming out of your wall, is going to have some level of DC voltage in it. And my understanding is that is what can cause hum in transformers, and it can also damage your equipment. The Deep Core is also supposed to remove EMI voltage, or interference in your power supply, and RFI interference. The Equi Core is basically what they describe this as is just removing common mode noise, and I'm not sure what that is exactly. I'm guessing that would just be, just the grunge that's in your electric, the kind of stuff that gives you, not that black background that you could have. So it says it removes up to 20 decibels of common mode noise. So anyway, I'm getting back on track with my first impressions here. Honestly, I didn't really want to do this review, and the reason why is I don't have a whole lot of experience with power conditioners. I did do sort of a review of the Monster Power HTS 5100 maybe about 1.5 years ago, and that was more of a discussion about how I had problems with it and dealing with warranty repairs, and then breaking down again, and ended up getting a hold of a third one and combining 2 to make 1 working unit. So I've had 3 of those now, and do have one that works for But so anyway, I don't have a lot of experience with power conditioners, and I was kind of not really looking forward to doing this review because I didn't really know if it was going to make a big difference or not. And I didn't want to, get on and say, well, I didn't hear any difference, or I didn't want to, have to exaggerate a small difference and make a big deal out of it, because I really didn't think it was going to make a big difference. I thought, first of all, that my power was pretty clean. I live in the country. I am the only house on my transformer. I have my own pole, I have my own transformer, and I assumed my power was pretty clean because of that, and I assumed that I've got two different monster power conditioners, HDP 2500, which was about, I think about a $450 unit new, and then the Monster HTS 5100, which was about a $700 unit new, and I mostly have them for surge protection because we do have a lot of power surges here, and not so much for power conditioning because I didn't think I really needed it. Well, anyway, I couldn't have been more wrong. These were sent to me, and I did hook them up, and I did notice some pretty significant differences. So this review is going to be a little easier than I thought because, if something works and does what it's supposed to do, and I'm happy with it, it's a lot easier for me to do a review. So I don't have to, kind of dig for nice things to say. So anyway, I did want to discuss, give you a quick description of the music I use. If you've watched my videos before, I use sort of a combination of rock, pop, electronic, a lot of acoustical music, and a little bit of orchestral music. The equipment I used to do this first impression was I did use both of these units combined. The deep core plugged into the wall, the Equi Core plugged into the deep core, and then it has 4 outlets. So those 4 outlets I used for my my CD transport, which is a Cambridge Audio 540C that I use as a transport only. And then my Benchmark Media DAC1 was plugged into the second outlet. And then I had my Audio GD Master 9, which is my reference amp, plugged in, and also a second amp, the Felix Audio Echo OTL Type 2 amp. And what I found out, and it didn't take long at all to realize this, and this is where the major difference came in. Okay, when I do my reviews, I've got my system set up in my master bedroom. And I've got everything all on one shelf, and everything was running through power conditioners. Both of the Monster power conditioners were being used for different equipment because I have quite a few different things hooked up. But anyway, whenever I did any serious listening or even just, casual listening, the first thing I had to do is I've got a set of track lights in the room. There's 9 LED track lights hooked up to a dimmer switch. And the first thing I had to do is always make sure that that was turned off completely, because it not only caused hum in my system, I would hear it through the headphones, but it would also just make everything sound kind of grungy. It took away the clarity, it took away the definition, the separation between instruments and voices and all that. Just really made whatever amp I was using, whatever headphones, it didn't matter. It really made it sound like crap if those lights were on. And the brighter I turned them up, and I don't know if it was the bulbs or the dimmer switch, but the brighter I turned the lights, the more background noise I got, and the worse it sounded. So I always had to make sure those were off. Okay, I've also got some halogen, I think they're under counter lights is what they are, but anyway, I've got them on the headboard of my bed. And I had to make sure those were off. That would also cause just a barely audible, but a little bit of hum in the background. And what else? Oh, I've got a ceiling fan in the room. I had to make sure that was off, because that would create a hum in the background that I would hear through my headphones. I mean, it was coming through the amp and actually audible. It wasn't loud, but when I listen, I want it to sound as good as possible. So whenever I do any serious listening at all, I've always had to make sure all those things were off. And the other thing that I've noticed is that, well, let me get back to that. Okay, I hooked up both of these. The deep core into the wall, the Equi Core into the deep core, and then into the 4 components I mentioned. And after doing that, the track lights, I can't tell if they're on or off by listening to the headphones. It just pretty much filters out all that noise and grunge that was coming through from the track lights or the dimmer switch, whatever it was. Same thing with the ceiling fan. It's like 99% gone. The halogen lights, same thing. I still turn those off because they don't need to be on, but all that background noise that was coming through my Monster power supply, the combination of these two is just pretty much eliminating that almost completely. I would say at least 95% of it is gone. The other thing that I've had a problem with, and I've always wondered, my Audio GD Master 9, which has been my reference amp for quite a while, has always had a slight hum to it. Not through the headphones. I don't hear the hum at all through the headphones, but just the unit itself sitting on the shelf. When I turn it on, I hear a slight hum coming from the unit, and I can probably hear it from 10 feet away. If the room is completely silent, I can sit 10 feet away, and when I have open back headphones on, which all my favorite headphones are open back, when it goes completely silent, like between a song, I can slightly hear that hum, and it bothers me. It always has, and I've always wondered why that hum was coming from it. And I was assuming it has 3 large transformers in it, and I was assuming it was one of the transformers humming. Well, anyway, I plugged that into the combination of these 2 power conditioners, and that hum is completely gone for the first time. And I've been using it for, I don't know, 4 or 5 days now, and I have never, again, heard that hum since it's been plugged into these. So it's not something that, was causing the hum, then it went off, then it came back or whatever. In like 5 days now, I have not once heard that hum coming out of my amp. So I'm assuming it was some sort of DC voltage in my system that was causing a hum in the transformers, and apparently this has cleaned it up. So really happy about that. And obviously the Monster power supplies were not able to do that. They were not able to prevent that hum in my amp. So other than that, I mentioned that I think my power is pretty clean if I, keep all those things off. The ceiling fan, the track lights, the halogen lights, all that. I was assuming my power was clean and that a power conditioner wouldn't really make a difference after that. But I have to admit that even with everything off, there's a difference. The background just sounds more black, just kind of just void and empty. I almost feel like I'm in outer space or something, and just in complete emptiness, and the music's just coming at me from every direction and just out of nothing. I mean, yes, some recordings I hear the noise floor of the recording, but in really good recordings, it's just like the music is coming out of total blackness. And it's significantly better than it was with the Monster power supply. So it just sounds cleaner. I'm hearing more fine details, I guess you would call them micro details. I think especially up in the upper mid-range and treble, where that background noise was keeping me from hearing some things. So bottom line, without a doubt, these definitely make a difference. Even with all the things that I know cause interference and background noise, even with all those off, it still makes a difference because it's creating a blacker background, and it is more enjoyable. I mean, it's, you know, I had my doubts, and now I'm starting to wonder how I lived without this thing. So anyway, I'm going, give me a couple weeks. I'll by request, I'm actually going to do a separate full review of each of these, and then I will either talk in the second review of the Equi Core. I will either talk about how both of them together sound, or maybe even do a full review of both combined. But I'll try to, you know, get working on those, and it's going to take some time because it's going to be a lot of plugging, unplugging, finding out which one of these is doing what. And I mean, the two combined is doing an excellent job, but I want to try using them one at a time and see what exactly, excuse me, what they're doing. And then, you know, get some more details of what exactly is happening, and get you some more information. Oh, and I did want to show you this. Okay, these things were shipped to me with what I understand is an optional upgrade power cable. And I want to show you this because it's pretty impressive. This is the cable that goes between the two. So this came with the Equi Core, and you're supposed to plug this into the back of the Deep Core, and then it's your power supply for the Equi Core. And these are an upgrade cable. I think these are called the Gold Series or whatever. And I've been trying to find out what the price is on these. I mean, I have never seen a cable like this. I mean, these things are just outrageous quality and huge. I mean, the cable diameter, I don't know what the gauge of these. So I'm trying to find out more about these, what the gauge is, what the wire material is, all that. This is a cable that comes with the Equi Core and the well, the one I got, and the Deep Core came with a cable just like this, but about 6 feet long, that goes from that unit to the wall. But like, once again, these are not the standard core cables. These are an optional upgrade, and I will try to find out what the price difference is to get these. But I assume that they come with pretty decent cables, you know, at the standard price. So I will look into that too and try to get back to you. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. Once again, this is William from the Headphone Experience, and if this video has helped you at all, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you are all welcome to join us over at the Headphone Experience on Facebook. We are now at over 9,000 members, so we continue to grow. So thanks for watching my video.